This is the writer's strike of 2007 to 2008, a negotiation case study. The WGA, the Writers Guild of America West, and the Alliance of Motion Pictures and Television Producers were both involved in the failed negotiation that resulted in the strike back at the end of 2007 and the beginning of 2008. So, every 3 years, the WGA negotiates a basic contract with the Alliance of Motion Pictures and Television Producers that employs the WGA writing members. It is a minimum basic agreement that lays out treatment of Writing Guild members and their pay. Negotiation reached a sudden impasse during 2007 through 2008 contract negotiation. Several key issues from the contract at both sides included DVD residuals, union jurisdiction over animation and reality program writers, and compensation for new media. To understand the importance of the WGA, it must be made clear. If you are to write in Hollywood, you must be a union member in the WGA. The Writers Guild of America West claims a high percentage of writers in Hollywood, giving them protection and even perks after attaining so many writing contracts. And up until the 2007 strike, the Guild was considered to be ambivalent, a marriage arranged by the elders, and in Lou Vrocki, a TV show writer and Guild member, was quoted, unable to see the proverbial bride. That is until the 2007-2008 negotiations broke down with the two guilds. A historical 92% agreement to begin the strike was reached within the WGA membership. So what happened in the negotiation room? The Writers Guild in 2007 was negotiating for residuals for their writers and for dues to be paid to the writers in the event the new media came around. New media being what is now Netflix and other streaming services offering original content. However, the AMPTP refused to budge and even walked out of the negotiation room. The AMPTP wanted to keep the pay the same, not to provide residuals for their many writers, and not to provide more jurisdiction to the writers in reality TV and animation. So, for the positions, the Writers Guild wanted a raise for their members and had the position of withholding the writers in their union from making new content. AMPTP's position was keeping it as it was and allowing the writers to work on the show. At this time, all the AWG members walked out of the studios in protest, many no longer being paid during the protest. So essentially, what did both parties want? The Writers Guild wanted their writers to see an increase in their pay to reflect the amount of work that they have put into TV shows and movies and even ads, and even receive a profit from when streaming services became a common household item. They also wanted their writers to receive residuals from the show reruns after they entered syndication. The Alliance of Motion Pictures wanted the contract to remain the same as previous years, not to increase the pay or even give writers a residual. Neither side were willing to give in. AMPT was the first to walk away. So, what went well in the negotiation? The WGA successfully laid the groundwork for the writers' payments for when streaming services took off. AMPTP was able to keep their profits for the reality TV and animations mostly to themselves, giving them the power of jurisdiction over the writing services. Both sides were able to finally work together, giving up certain previous no-deal items to reach a beneficial contract. So what went wrong? Walking away. It's understandable to walk away so each side could look over the contracts and see where they would want to discuss some changes to be made. It's another to walk away and completely stop negotiation. AMPTP proceeded to do this in the midst of the strike, only being forced to come back when media attention and lack of content being made forced them back to the table. Stopping negotiation cold never gets anything resolved. The final agreement was reached in 2008. The WGA got a raise for their writers, but gave up residual opportunities for reality TV and animation jurisdiction. Though the raises were only 3 to 3.5% pay for their writers, it is still something, and they laid the groundwork for future negotiation for streaming services. And here are my citations for the case study.